Hello, Mr. K here again. We're talking about things you can fix in your driveway, uh, things you can fix quickly or fix anywhere, I guess, for that matter. It could be at a grocery store parking lot, at school, whatever it may be. But just trying to show you some quick fixes, some really common issues uh, that might get you off the side of the road or get you home. All right. So in this presentation, we're going to show you a few common things, common fixes, hopefully demonstrate them a little bit with some videos, and then talk about when they're needed. Okay, so first things first, go ahead and pause my video and watch this video all about windshield wipers. Okay, should just watch that video, windshield wipers. Hopefully that gave you a good overview of everything. Next, we'll talk about how expensive wipers are, because I've seen so many people that don't replace their wipers and they're driving through rain and snowstorms and can barely see the road. And there's just no excuse because wipers are so cheap, and most auto parts stores will install them for free if you buy them there. So here you go for a 2011 Ford Focus, pretty common car, $749 at Napa. And Napa is probably not even the cheapest place you could buy these. So $7, $8 for a wiper. Okay, and they'll put it on for free. If you really want to go fancy, the most expensive one they sell for that car is about $29. So still worth the safety that they offer to keep a clean windshield and be able to see while you're driving in a storm. And if you really want to cheap out, you can even jump on Amazon and a brand called Hella, which I don't know if that's the same brand as Hella off-road lights. If it is, it's actually a pretty good brand. $3. Okay, there's really no excuse to not have good wipers when you can get them for $3 on Amazon and have them shipped to your house in 2 days. Okay, so enough about wipers. I think you get the idea. Let's talk about if your car won't start. One question we need to ask is the battery dead? So if I'm going to ask you if the battery's dead, because it may not be the battery, right? It may just something on the engine could be bad if it's not starting. So is the battery dead? One way you can answer that is turn your headlights on. Headlights should work even without the keys in the ignition, without the car running. Turn the headlights on, go look at them. If you put your face right in front of them and it blinds your eyes, or you put your hand in front of them and you can feel the heat, it really lights up your hand, battery's probably not dead. It's probably an issue with starter motor, starter solenoid, something like that, security system on the car, but it's probably not a battery issue. So that's the first thing I do. If I get in a car and it won't start, the motor's not even turning over, I turn the headlights on and I see, are they bright? Okay, so let's say the headlights are not bright, they're dim or they're about out when you turn them on. So you know it's a battery issue or a power issue. Now we need to know, does the battery need to be replaced or does it just need to be recharged? Luckily, an auto parts store will do that for free as well. Okay, Napa, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advance, all the common ones. You can go in there. They've got a free jump pack. They've got a battery charger, a tester. They'll check your battery out. But there's also some things you can do before you even go there. So first of all, car batteries are generally only expected to last about 5 years, maybe shorter than that if it's a vehicle that gets shut off and turned on a lot, like a UPS truck, that type of thing. If you ever have a UPS delivery come to your house, you'll notice they shut the truck off every time. FedEx, not so much. Betting UPS buys a lot more batteries than FedEx does. Okay, it's using a starter motor is hard on the battery. But something you can do is check the date code. So we know batteries generally aren't supposed to last more than 5 years when they're in service. This is just one example here. These are actually the type of batteries that I prefer myself on my personal vehicles. I buy EverStart from Walmart because they have such a good warranty, but that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, you'll notice they have a little sticker, a little circular sticker somewhere on the battery that is approximately the date of manufacture. So this one was manufactured sometime around December of 2013. Okay, by looking at this. So if you see this battery in a vehicle today, in the year that we're in, then you say, okay, well, it's a pretty good bet that battery's probably going bad and needs to be replaced because that's an old battery. Okay. Now here's a different brand, Superstart, and their manufacture date is actually etched on the side of the battery like this. So they still use these, but they're calling that a recharge date, but that's actually the manufacturing date. Okay, so every battery manufacturer may do a little bit differently, but if you're able to find and interpret that code, which you can look up online, then it'll give you a clue as to whether you're going to need a new battery or not. And this is used to be a real common way to date batteries. I don't see it much anymore. But like when I was a kid, this was on almost every car battery, it seemed like, to show manufacture date. So they just put the same sticker on all the batteries from the factory, and then they would stamp out whatever date it was manufactured in. So excuse me, let's say um, this one's using the example August of 2008. So notice they punched out the August and the 8. So you would know that this was August 2008. Of course, if this battery was still in service today and I saw August and 8 punched, I would think it was probably August of 2018, not 2008, right? But anyway, so that's a date code, another way of batteries showing their date of manufacture. And that can help you to know if that battery should probably be replaced or not. Again, 5 years. Okay. So now let's say you've got a dead battery. Okay, it's great to know all about battery date codes, but no one really cares when you're on the side of the road in the pouring rain and it's 25 degrees out. Well, it wouldn't be 25 degrees in the pouring rain. Let's say 35 degrees, and you just need to get that car started and get out of there. You need to jump the car. So here's what you really want to know. So go ahead and pause my video now and watch this one. Okay, should just watch that video. That gave you a good rundown on how to jump a dead battery. Okay, so forget the battery. Let's say the battery's fine, car runs fine, but something electrical stops working. Maybe it's, and I think I have some examples in here. Yeah, let's say a horn, wipers, defroster, radio, headlights, whatever it may be. Something stops working. Where does power for all of those go through? Okay, power for almost every electrical component on a vehicle has to run through a fuse box. Okay, if you don't know what a fuse box is, that's okay. Basically, it's a place that power comes from the battery and then gets redistributed out to all kinds of components in the vehicle. Fuse box is full of fuses, as you excuse me, as you might have guessed. Fuses will blow, as in this diagram here. Okay, there's a good fuse. That's what hopefully all your fuses look like. But if something doesn't work, they may look like that. A fuse will has a little tiny wire in it that will blow when it goes over a certain value of amperage, and it basically safeguards the wiring in the vehicle. Okay, helps stop a fire. So what you see at the top is more of a newer style fuse, and this is more of typically an older style fuse in, oh, maybe a year 2000 and older car, I'm going to say roughly. So they both work the same way. You'll just see this in older vehicles. Okay, and same thing when it blows, you can look through the little glass vial in there and you can see the wire is broken. Okay, go ahead and watch this video at this time. All right, should just watch that video. It talks to you about how to inspect a fuse and how to replace them. So there you go. If something's not working in your vehicle, that is one of the first things I check. Anything electrical, there's where I go first. Okay, let's just say you've got a bulb burned out. Okay, is a brake light out or tail light out, or headlight out for that matter? Is that a big deal? It is, and here's why you should think that it is a big deal. This is from Fishers, Indiana. This is the city of Fishers is what they charge for tickets. And I put the arrows at equipment violations. So you can see it's $160 fine if you've got a burned out headlight, a burned out tail light, or brake light. So it is a big deal. At least it should be, unless you're just overflowing with money and you don't mind giving $160 to the state of Indiana. But I know I do. So I keep that stuff in tip top shape. I put the schedule fines for Fishers on there just because for our area, it doesn't have a, doesn't, I can't find anything online that tells the exact fine, but I can tell you Fishers obviously is 160. Another city was 135. I know up in Fort Wayne area, it's closer to 200. It's just under $200. I think it's 192 for a burned out headlight. So again, a $15 headlight bulb is not worth paying $192 for. So let's talk about replacing a bulb. Go ahead and watch this video at this time. All right, you should have just watched that video. That just gives you a rough idea of how to replace a tail light or a brake light bulb. That happened to be in a BMW, but it's a similar process in a lot of vehicles. You can find instructions online. You can find YouTube videos on it. It's typically not real hard. Sometimes you don't need any tools at all. Things just snap together. But again, there's really no excuse to have a burned out bulb. The bulbs are between $1 and $3 a piece, unless it's a headlight bulb, then it might be 10 to 20. And you can usually replace them in 10 minutes with no tools. All right, at this point in time, go ahead and work through your assignment on this and have a good day.